What's up, ladies and gentlemen? I am the Eccentric Gamer. I provide gaming news and gaming reviews while you guys, of course, provide the views. And it's finally here. E3 is here. Finally. Bethesda had its press conference and opened up, well, technically Nintendo opened up the E3 show by doing their Nintendo World Championship thing. That thing was actually pretty cool to watch, and especially at the end where the two players played Mario Maker. And to be quite honest with you, that competition kind of got me interested in Mario Maker. It was a fun competition to watch and pretty cute at times and all. So if you haven't checked it out yet, I would totally recommend it. But besides that, Bethesda had its E3 conference. They revealed a lot of stuff, so let me just dive right into it. I'm going to talk about the announcements that they had. I'm going to talk about the goods. I'm going to talk about the negatives, because I'm literally reading the negatives right now. So let me just dive right in here. So they opened up the press conference with Doom. Come out wherever you are. And they announced a lot of stuff for Doom. Well, first of all, they showed off some gameplay regarding to Doom, and Doom looks fucking awesome. It looks really freaking cool. I loved the gameplay that they showed at the conference. The gunplay looks awesome. When you get the chainsaw and you chop one of those demons in half, the fatality attacks that you do, removing body parts and using them to your advantage. All wonderful, cool stuff. The graphics look incredible, and according to the post-show, Doom is aiming to be at 1080p, 60 frames per second. So good on you, Bethesda, for doing that. They didn't give out a release date per se, but they did say that it's going to be coming out around springtime of 2016. So there you go. That's pretty much closest to a date that we're going to get. I thought another thing that was kind of interesting regarding to that was the fact that the game will support modding not only on the PC edition but also consoles as well. Somehow you'll be able to download the mods for Doom 4, and you'll be able to imply them into your console if you have a console version as well. I think that's pretty unprecedented. I think that's pretty freaking awesome. For me, being a console gamer, I never really have experienced what it's like to have mods as part of my gaming experience. So I think this will be a kind of cool way for me to check it out and see what modding's all about. So I'm kind of looking forward to that. So after Doom, they announced mobile games, Battlecry, Elder Scrolls Online. I'm not that... I wasn't really that interested in them. I mean, they look kind of cool and all, but they didn't really elaborate much on those two games, really, per se. Elder Scrolls Online is free to play, and Battlecry, I'm not sure if they gave out an announced date, but it looked pretty cool. It was one of those games that has like dual play, not dual play, but like team cooperative type of gameplay and the whole thing. That looked kind of cool. But for me, not my type of game, so I wasn't really interested in that. But what did catch my interest was Dishonored 2, the sequel to Dishonored. Well, first of all, speaking of the original Dishonored game, they are remastering it on the PlayStation 4 and Xbox One. It will be coming out in August, I believe. I think I noticed that, but I believe it's coming out in August. But Dishonored 2 looked cool. It looked really interesting. You could play as a female character, and you could also play as a male character. That's really freaking cool whenever you see that in a game. The gameplay looked kind of interesting. It looked kind of cool. It was CGI though, so it wasn't necessarily gameplay per se. So not sure. I'm not really sure what the gameplay is going to look like, but to my understanding, the characters have superpowers, and it's very stealth-focused gameplay. So it sounds like my type of game. I have not played the original Dishonored game, and with what I saw, it kind of caught my interest. So I might check out Dishonored sooner rather than later. I am thinking about picking up the definitive edition, which is the remastered edition, and checking it out then in August. So we'll see when that bridge. We'll cross that bridge when we get there, I guess. And so that was Dishonored 2, and then we come to the big one, Fallout 4. Yes, Fallout 4. Well, to start things off, you could play as a male or female character. Wonderful stuff there. The game begins with a husband and wife type of thing. Mistake. It takes place 200 years after the Fallout happens, which is pretty freaking crazy. You're the only survivor from Fault 111, which is kind of weird too. But while I was watching, I guess the only way for you to assume that you survived all that time was that everyone was in a cryogenic stasis or something along those lines, and your pod gets open and you're the only survivor. That is most likely the case, and I personally didn't think of that. The guys from the stream that I watched thought of that, which, by the way, just a little plug-in. Check out VideoGamesAwesome or on YouTube Far From Subtle. Check out their stream. They're awesome guys. Fraser and Becky were checking out the conference, and that's what they mentioned, that they probably freeze you up and you wake for 200 years, which is most likely the plausible thing. But like I said, I totally would recommend if you're into live streaming and the whole thing. They do a bang out job over there, so definitely check them out. But I'll have a link in the description below as well. But yeah, so the game takes place 200 years. It starts off in modern times and then jumps ahead 200 years later where you get picked up. Your character that you create can speak now, so it's not just point and click and the character responds to what you said. Now you actually have some interaction with one another where you speak and they speak back after you speak your words. There's also over 1,000 popular names, so like let's just say if your character is named Jeff, people will interact with you as Jeff and they will know that your name is Jeff, which is pretty fucking cool. The dog, you could play fetch in the whole thing. He's basically your companion, which is freaking awesome. They made a new pit boy, and what's kind of cool about Fallout 4 is that not only the build your own house mechanic is coming back to Fallout, but also you can actually build your own community, and you can kind of you basically can build your own community in Fallout 4, and you got to protect it from raiders and other enemies as well, which is pretty freaking cool. And how you do that is the environment, like in previous games, what would be considered like scrap or any like extra stuff that you would just pick up to sell. It's actually kind of interesting that there's actually more of a purpose to those extra objects instead for just taking them and selling them. Even Mr. Howard, the lead, the director, even mentioned that it kind of adds like maybe should I sell this or should I not sell this, because maybe I want to add it to my community or something along those lines. You actually pick up that stuff. You actually pick up material in order to build up houses, build up build up buildings and stuff, broken down buildings and stuff, and try to get a community together, which is kind of interesting in my opinion. I think that's a neat mechanic to add to it, which I think adds to the gameplay a little bit more. Kind of like a Minecraft type of thing in Fallout, which he even alluded to. Also, the power armor is customizable as well, along with the custom community and your character being customizable. Probably one of the biggest news about it is the collector's edition, or as they call it, the Pip-Boy edition, where you get your own. They basically built their own Pip-Boy and they're giving it to you, and it works as a phone, and they developed an app so that your phone can work as a Pip-Boy. You can like mess around with it and stuff like that. It fits into the arm guard that they built for you that you get in the box. So that's a really fucking awesome collector's item, I think. And it's funny, I even sent out a tweet to the announcer that I made a vow to never pre-order a game again, but that collector's edition most likely is going to make me break my vow on that. So that's going to be kind of cool. I think that's really awesome. They also announced that the mobile game Fallout Shelter is available right now. I played it a little bit. It's kind of fun. It's kind of like what was that war game that there's this war game on I think Jim Sterling talked about it. Another guy you should check out on YouTube, by the way. But he did a review on the game during his top 2014 best games of the year, and he mentioned that game. It's about it takes place during wartime, and you gotta look after these soldiers and all, unless they, you gotta take care of them, otherwise they'll go crazy and possibly turn against you and stuff like that. It's kind of similar to that, but in Fallout. It is pretty cool. You kind of have to build. What the concept of it is that you become the overseer of a vault. You create your own vault, and you become the overseer of it, and you have to monitor it basically, and make sure that there's enough water coming in, enough resources in order to keep your dwellers happy, in order to keep them happy and continue living and keep the vault running smoothly. And you also got to protect them from raiders and rad roaches and the whole thing. It for a mobile game, and it's Fallout, it sounds pretty cool. And like I said, I checked it out for a little bit. It was pretty fun for the little bit of time that I did play it. While I was waiting for everything to convert. Oh yeah, you can also call in helicopters, and you can sprint and run in Fallout 4. It's about fucking time that you can do that. So yeah, that's pretty much Bethesda's press conference in a nutshell with everything that they announced. What did I think of it overall? I thought the conference was amazing. I thought it was a great conference, one of the better conferences that I've seen in a long time. If I had to give like a verdict, I would give it a 9 out of 10. I thought it was just simply a great way of opening up E3. The E3 press conferences to say. I think Bethesda did a phenomenal job. I liked what they tried to do. They tried to be kind of entertaining, and they were, even if it failed. Not in a bad way, but in a jokingly kind of way. They played up to it. They seemed very comfortable with everything. It was a fun time. It was a fun press conference, which is something that we've been going through a lot of boring Ubisoft, EA, and previous Microsoft conferences, with all that boring stuff that they talk about. It was kind of a breath of fresh air to see some energy from a press conference for once, and not only coming from Sony, because usually they're the ones that give us the big E3 energy with the press conferences. Some of the negatives about it is basically the social justice warriors going crazy over the violence and everything. I saw some tweets by Anita Sarkeesian and some other people. I mean, Anita mentions that, here's one of her tweets. The Fallout 4 crafting system is cool. Imagine how much cooler it could be if it wasn't so focused on building stuff to kill other stuff. Anita, have you played Fallout before? You do realize you're in an apocalyptic world where, these people that are attacking you are suffering from radiation, and basically they're like mutants. They aren't humans really per se. They're out to try to kill you. It's about survival. Do you understand the concept of survival? Part of the building the community thing is actually building stuff to protect your community. That's the point. That's part of the point of the building of the community stuff. It's not just to kill things. It's to protect it's to protect your things from other things that are trying to take your things. It's really that simple. It's not. She even mentioned stuff about Doom and how, gross and violent it is. And again, Doom is a game about, fighting, shooting up and fighting demons in hell. You go to hell in the new Doom game at some point. What were you expecting? I even tweeted this. Were you expecting a nice little flowery picnic in hell, Anita? Do you think the devil's going to come down and sip the specially made tea that you made for him? I mean, come on. See, this is the problem. Like, these people think just because, it's violent in the whole thing, that it shouldn't be allowed because of how violent it is and everything. The fact of the matter is that these are video games. They aren't reality. It doesn't matter, in my opinion, it doesn't matter how effective the video game's portrayal is in reality, or how it affects people in reality. If it affects people in reality, then they have a problem, in my opinion. That's something that the parents or the person himself has to deal with himself. Point is that video games aren't reality, and what's amazing about video games and movies and anime, all these different media outlets for entertainment, what's interesting about them is how they're able to explore reality, and how they are, and basically it's interesting how they explore realities, but also how they can stretch realities, where they can create worlds and rules and ideas, just completely on their own. Like One Piece, the main character's body is made of rubber. Zoro can cut through literally anything. Sanji can light his foot on fire. Chopper is a talking reindeer. I mean, that's what's kind of cool about all these different kinds of medias. They're able to explore reality, but also stretch reality so much that they kind of create its own different reality. And for me, I find that really interesting, because I find reality kind of boring, quite honestly with you. That's one of the things that I love about movie filmmaking and video game design and animes, because it just allows me to think of reality in a completely different perspective. Where you guys, it's this perspective and that's fucking it. It's that way or the highway. It's your way or the highway. Why don't you come out of your little bubble and start exploring, and start venturing down paths that you didn't really think could happen. That's what's really cool about this kind of stuff. Because, like I said, for me, I find reality really fucking boring. It's a way to explore reality in an alternate reality. Creatively, artistically, the whole 9 yards, all that stuff. It's interesting. It allows you to see a different perspective. And I think that's really important. If we just try to stay in the bubble of fucking reality, then what's the point? What's the point of living if you can't explore a little? That's the kind of... It just frustrates the hell out of me when I see this. When people are intentionally trying to limit people's, perspectives, their creative perspectives or their creative realities. I hate when people like this try to restrict those things, when really it should be as free as possible, in my opinion. So, all in all, though, it was a fucking amazing press conference. The stuff that Bethesda showed was freaking awesome. I'm really excited for Fallout 4. I'm really excited for Doom. I'm really excited for Dishonored 2. Those are... I can't wait for those games. 2016 looks awesome. Hopefully Fallout won't get delayed this year and it will come out on time. But please, pretty please, Bethesda, don't release your game in such a broken state, okay? I've come around on glitches. Glitches were the reason why I resented Fallout for the longest time. Not till recently I started playing Fallout 3 and I've been loving it, but it's really annoying when the game stops for a good 5 minutes because for whatever fucking reason it just freezes because it just can't process or it's not rendering fast enough or whatever. The point is, I'm okay with glitches now in Fallout or in Skyrim, but if it's game breaking, then we're gonna have some problems, Bethesda. And please, I'm begging you, don't release your game in such a piss poor state like Fallout 3 in Vegas and Skyrim on the consoles, because to my understanding, the console editions of Fallout are pretty fucking bad, and I can tell you personally, yeah, they are pretty freaking bad, and it really frustrates the hell out of me. So, but besides that, I loved what you showcased. Everything looked amazing. I'm excited for Dishonored. I'm excited for Fallout. I'm excited for Doom, and I can't fucking wait for these games to come out. Really super excited for it. I can't wait for tomorrow. Microsoft's up next. You better show some stuff, Microsoft. Let's see what you guys have. And then we have, let's see here. We got Microsoft, and then we have EA, and then Ubisoft and Sony tomorrow. So, yeah. Let me just double check here. Yeah. We have Microsoft, EA, Ubisoft, and Sony for tomorrow. So, biggity bang. Lots of videos coming tomorrow as well. Also, as you could tell, my friend isn't here. I know I've been mentioning that. I'm sorry, my friend got caught up with some stuff and wasn't able to make it for the Bethesda press conference, but I will show him that tomorrow before Microsoft's thing. And you will most likely see him tomorrow for Microsoft, Ubisoft, EA, and Sony's press conferences tomorrow. So look forward to that. And until next time, I'm the E-Centric Gamer. I provide gaming news and gaming reviews such as this, while you guys, of course, provide the views. Thank you for watching. Please like, favorite, and subscribe. Let me know what you thought of Bethesda's press conference down in the comments below. I want to hear your thoughts and opinions on it, what you're excited for, what do you agree or disagree on anything. Please let me know. If you also like this video, please subscribe to the channel as well. That's always awesome. And until later today, since it's like 4:30 in the morning right now, I will see you in a couple more hours. So until then, see you at Microsoft's press conference. Okay, bye.